What is up, everybody?
How you doing?
It's Midweek Live, John.
What do you know? Dude,
Oh.
those jams were pretty good on the background music there.
That's
I know.
not bad.
Chat, y'all were liking
Yeah.
the music there?
John was dancing, but
There was a little of this.
I told him
we
to
were
stop.
up like this, and
no,
he said
I told
no.
him to stop before.
we don't dance at
No,
church.
no, we dance
No.
elsewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't do that. We don't
It's
do that
amazing.
here.
Well, welcome everybody. Welcome Jeremy and Emery and Lila and Kane and everyone else. I can't list everyone's name.
There's a lot
There's
of reading.
too many.
right here. Yeah.
But it's amazing. We're so glad you're with us here for another week of Midweek Live. John's, what are you doing?
Well, I saw that we had this Jenga board up here, so I figure I think I'm going to beat you at it tonight.
Oh, that means it's my turn.
It means it's your turn because
I think I'm going to win.
I took the easy one.
Whoever you think is going to win, John or myself, which is obvious, it's myself, then go ahead and place that in the chat. Who you think is going to win our Jenga battle right here on Midweek Live?
Going all night.
We have something new to introduce to you guys tonight.
Yeah. Are y'all ready for this? So here, we need you guys to pay attention throughout the entire night because anytime you hear the word of the day spoken by anybody, I need you to throw it out in chat and just throw word of the day in there as fast as you can. We're going to be looking at this to see who we can give some prizes out to. So the word of the day today is unprecedented.
So if you hear any of us say the word unprecedented, outside of the explanation, of course,
Obviously.
then throw it in the chat and say, hey, I heard it, word of the day, and we may or may not give you a prize.
It's quite possible
Yeah.
that you would get a prize, and if we gave you a prize, that would be
Amazing.
unprecedented.
Oh, I see what you did
see
there.
what we did there?
Wow,
Just
was
like that.
that was
quick on it.
spot
Yeah.
on. So we're going to try not to say this word starting now.
Now,
But if you hear us, throw it in the chat, and maybe you'll win something. Maybe word of the day.
yeah. So
Man, it's going to be
that's
awesome.
new. Be looking for it.
Be watching. I'm going to try
bold.
for a bottom one here.
Bold move.
But I think I got it.
Oh,
It was pretty
all right,
easy,
all right,
actually.
All right.
So, John, I have a game for you.
You got a game for me. All right. Cool.
Tonight, we're going to be talking about stories, and specifically, we're going to be talking about your story, but also God's story.
Nice. All
God
right.
has a
I
story,
like that.
John.
All right. We're down for that.
Okay, but this game is called Stories, True or False.
Okay.
True or false.
Stories,
And so
true or false.
I'm going to pick a random student from the chat, and John, if you get each question correct, the student that I choose will win a prize.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right, so let's go with, we're going to start with Katie Snell, good old Katie Snell. Katie Snell,
All right,
I
Katie.
see you. I see you.
I got this. This is for you.
So if John
It's for
gets
you.
this correct, then you will get a prize. Okay?
All right.
So John, here's the story.
Yeah.
At one point in McDonald's long history, McDonald's, they're like the fast food place.
I've
they
heard of
serve
them.
burgers and stuff.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
still open through this time.
They are.
Okay, so at one point, McDonald's long history, they pushed into getting kids to eat healthier.
Ooh.
Imagine that. That's weird.
Yeah. That's not
So
gonna happen.
they created bubblegum flavored broccoli. True or false?
Bubblegum flavored broccoli. Katie, there's a lot of pressure on me to get this right so that you might win a prize here. Bubblegum flavored broccoli.
Sounds disgusting.
It sounds awful.
For the record.
Like just straight up vile.
Like
really, really gross.
yeah. I
Which
feel
is
you.
like a lot of things that that McDonald's does. So I'm actually going to lean and I'm going to say false on this one. They do not have bubblegum flavored broccoli.
Katie, I'm so sorry. The answer is true.
What?
Turns out they created it, they distributed it to the kids, and the kids hated it.
Oh.
Sorry, Katie.
So much sorry.
No prize for you.
So much sorry.
All right, next
that's
one.
on me.
We're
All
going to go with Kaylee Olson.
Kaylee. All
You're
right.
going to be fighting for a prize for a high schooler.
All right.
Okay. Are you ready?
I am ready, and I do not want to let the high school down.
This one is about ants.
Ooh, I like aunts and uncles.
Okay, here we go.
I'm impartial.
Here it is. Ants, can they be zombie ants?
Ooh.
There is a tale of a tropical fungus that infects ants' central nervous system. By the time the fungi have been in the ants' bodies for 9 days,
9 days.
it completely takes over control. It will then force the ants to do exactly what it wants at exactly solar noon to bite a leaf and to then kill it. Zombie ants. True, John.
Zombie
or false?
ants. And they didn't stay in quarantine the full time. You're saying that was like 9 days.
9 days.
9
they did
days
not
that they were in there.
quarantine.
Had they been in for a full 14 days,
That would have been different.
it would have been different.
Yeah. True or
Totally
false?
different. But
This is for Kaylee Olson.
For Kaylee, here's what I know. Zombie ants, 100% true. I believe they are out there. We all know a zombie apocalypse is happening, and it's brought in by the ants.
By the ants.
By the ants.
John, that is true.
Boom! There we go.
Kaylee, you win a prize. Kaylee Olson wins a prize.
That was bad.
Okay,
that
we'll
was really
try
bad.
again.
That was a horrible.
We'll try again.
I'm almost embarrassed to know you.
All right, here's
All right.
the next one. This
Yeah.
one is actually about oranges, John.
Oranges. Okay.
Yep. All right, here it is. There's an old wives' tale. Oh, I need to pick a student. We're going to go Lexi Thompson.
All right.
Lexi Thompson, here you go.
I got this for you.
There's an old wives' tale that tells a story about finding pink oranges. It is said that the original orange was indeed pink and was from Northwest Asia. John, is that true or false? True or false, John?
All right. Now, so what you're saying is that the original oranges were pink.
That's what I said in my statement.
If the original orange was pink, why would they have named it an orange? Or is it just a strange coincidence that eventually over time they turned orange after they were already named orange? So based on that, I am saying there is no chance that the original orange was pink.
No chance.
No chance.
False, your final answer
False
for Lexi
is the
Thompson.
final answer.
And there it is. It's
Woohoo!
false. But you were still a little off.
Yeah.
The original oranges were from Southeast Asia and were a tangerine pomelo hybrid. They were, in fact, green.
And
Incredible.
they still named it orange.
Yeah, it's incredible. All right, one more. We're going to do one more.
One more. All right.
And here it is.
Yeah. I'm going to totally pay attention to you as you're saying this.
Here it is. This, I think we should give some food out for this one.
Ooh, food. Okay. I'll take it.
I picked 3 girls, so let me pick a guy. Let's go Paul. Paul Curie.
All right, Paul.
All right, this is for Paul.
I got you.
Okay, this one is about cell phones.
Cell phones.
Here it is. Here's
have
the story. People break phones all of the time
All the time.
by sitting on them with their butts.
Booty,
Yeah,
face, or awesome.
we did that.
That was last.
That was not
last.
okay.
All right. Anyway, who?
In order to create a better product, Samsung wouldn't recommend getting one, but Samsung created a robot to test their phone's durability. The robot is shaped like a giant butt. True or false?
I just want to be the guy who designed it, right? Like, oh, what are you doing today at work? I had to design a robot that looks like a butt. And did they have to make like 3 or 4 different ones just depending on the size of
Don't know. Are you
gluteus
suggesting?
maximus that they were dealing with?
I don't know.
It could have been.
True or false, John?
That sounds like something Samsung would absolutely do, however, so I am saying
Because they're the worst? Is that
the
why?
best. The best.
Okay.
So I'm going to say that is true. There are Samsung booty robots out there.
That is, in fact, true.
Boom!
True.
Paul, you're welcome.
Paul, you win.
You are welcome.
Amazing. It even wears jeans, and they place the phone in the pocket and have the robot sit on it multiple times to test its durability. Can you believe that?
Who knew? I missed
Crazy.
my calling. That's what I should have been doing for a
Unbelievable.
living.
So that was amazing. John, you're great at
Nice.
stories. You are
3
great
out of 4, I got right.
at guessing them
Sorry,
correct.
Katie.
Not
Sorry,
bad.
Katie. That's on me.
Yeah, sorry, Katie. That was John's fault. But hey, we're going to dive into the night, so we're going to throw it over to Tyler and see what he's doing.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Midweek. I know that Eric and John already welcomed you, but I don't care. Mainly about them. So you're officially welcome. I brought a friend with me. It's one of our high school leaders, my friend Sydney Rassier. Sydney, is that how you pronounce your last name?
You were close, but no.
Okay, how do you pronounce it?
Rassier.
Okay, and what did I say?
Rassier.
Oh, like an
Unacceptable.
It's like 2 syllables, Rassier.
Right.
Okay, all right.
Like smooth.
So, Sydney, what age group do you work with our high school students?
I work with the sophomore girls.
Sophomore girls. And do you have a favorite one?
No,
Okay,
that's
good.
a silly question.
Good
Can't have favorites.
answer. Good answer. Our sophomore girls know you pretty well, but a lot of our students don't. So I thought I would ask you some questions. Rapid fire, quick answers. You ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Okay. I want to ask her the most ridiculous questions, but I'll stick to the questions I wrote down. All right. What's your biggest pet peeve? We're gonna come right off the top with a big one.
I like it. I would have to say when people talk during movies.
When people talk during movies.
Yep.
Okay, so right now you can't go to the movies.
Right.
So you're at your apartment with your two sisters. Which one of your two sisters talks more during a movie?
Ooh, that's a good one.
How do you not talk during a movie? Like, do you
do.
ever stop talking?
No, that's a really good point. It's just when other people are talking. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Totally fine if you're talking just
Right.
when it's somebody else. It's annoying.
Exactly. Do you even know me?
That's fine. Hey, Shaylin says hi.
Hi, Shay. I miss you.
All right. So biggest pet peeve is, but which sister talks more?
Oh, I'd have to agree with Paris. Probably Daralee.
Daralee.
Mm-hmm.
Daralee. Ugh.
A little spaz.
Okay. If your house was on fire or apartment was on fire, what two things would you run back in to get? Only two.
Right. Well,
Hold on. While you think about this, I want to see what you guys would put. What would you run back into your house if it's on fire? What two things or one thing would you run back and get? Go for it.
okay. Well, considering Daralee and Riley, my sisters, are living with me right now, I should probably say them. However, I'm not. I think I'm going to stick with my Keurig and my
fair.
laptop because it has all my photos on them, and I need those.
So your Keurig and your laptop.
Right.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, thank
Yeah. Not your Bible.
you. No.
Not one of those options.
No, because you can't find your photos somewhere else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
You haven't stored them on the cloud, like a cloud service, or
Yeah. And it's always good to start over with your notes on the Bible. I've thought about this.
Okay.
I'm really smart when
Okay.
it comes to this stuff.
Phoebe says either pets or humans. I don't know what the process is, Phoebe, on how you're going to decide which one, but I would lean towards humans. But that's fine. Also, we did have a comment from somebody that wants to know if you're a high schooler or an adult.
That's cruel, but I get it. I'm an adult. Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you want to share how old you are, or do you don't want to?
I don't care. I will share. I'm 24.
24.
Mhm.
Do you think you're ever going to look like you're 24?
No, probably not. I've accepted it. It's fine.
It's fair.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
100 horses
100 duck-sized horses.
Mhm.
Why?
because they'd be adorable. Like, let's be honest.
But you're fighting them.
Right. But
But you'd rather it.
yeah,
A horse-sized duck would be terrifying.
it would be absolutely terrifying.
Plus, like, often when in the movies, when something gets smaller, its voice gets quieter, and if it gets bigger, its voice gets so like that quack would
Exactly. It'd be terrifying.
be very loud.
I'd run.
Okay. Two more questions here. What's the best piece of advice someone has given you?
I think it would be to never go to bed angry.
Never go to bed angry.
Mhm.
Is that hard when you live with your sisters?
But I love them through it, you
Love
know?
them through it.
Right.
Do you have a favorite sister?
Mm-mm. No.
No. Okay.
Love them all.
It's definitely not Daralee. It's true. It's a true statement.
Fair.
Okay, last question here. It's a two-part question. You've
Okay.
been to Move with us, our summer conference for high school students.
Right?
How many years have you gone?
This will be 3, so I've gone 2 years.
Okay, so you've been there too. So of those 2 years, what's been your best memory as a leader at summer conference move?
I think, oh gosh, there's so many good things about summer camp. But I think I love seeing how God breaks down the walls of each student and seeing like the transformation from when we're on our way there and everyone's quieter and more to themselves. And then when you're on the way back, it's just completely loud and everyone's excited and talking to each other. But I love that because it shows how God's worked through each student. I think that's really cool.
That's awesome. Camp's pretty great, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I want you guys to know that our summer conference move for high school and mix for middle school goes live as soon as we're done here tonight. So you're definitely going to register for that. Only a $100 deposit to save your spot. And right now we're planning to be in Stanwood for mix, in Corvallis for move. And we've got some contingency plans should COVID alter those plans. But either way, this summer and the conference that we've got planned for you is going to be amazing, and you should sign up. Don't you think they should sign up?
Oh, for sure, sign up.
Very good. Hey, before we go back to Eric and John, let's take a quick commercial break.
Hey friends, my name is Megan and I'm in 7th grade, and one reason why I love middle school groups at VRL is because I get to connect with my friends on a weekly basis and dive deeper into God's Word with them. I like going to Thursday night groups because you get more in depth with your relationship with God. If you don't already go to Thursday night groups and you want to join, contact VRL MSM on Instagram or email students@vrl.church.
Hey.
What is up, everybody?
We're back.
We have a guest, John.
What?
You see this? This is Katie. Say hi, Katie.
Hi, guys.
Oh, man. Katie, I am so glad that you joined us.
It is so good.
Thank you so much for
to have
having
you
me.
Yeah. Give me your honest opinion of John.
here.
Ooh, that's hard.
I know.
He's very ambitious,
There you go.
crazy,
Love it.
but really fun to be around.
Oh.
See, that was great. I
So good.
did not prep Katie for that
No,
question.
I was scared of the answer, to be honest.
That is great. Katie, what grade are you in?
8th grade, going into freshman year.
Are you excited for Move?
Oh, so excited.
Even though Tyler might be there?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the downside, but you know what? I'll look past it.
Rough. Rough. I love it. All right. Well, how have you liked online school?
It sucks.
That's
It's awful.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard from most everybody.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's just not fun, you know?
Yeah. Well, I hope that you haven't forgotten adjectives and verbs and nouns because we are going to play a Mad Lib with you, Katie.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
John, just for our viewers' sake, John, why don't you explain what a verb is?
All right. So verb is going to be an action word.
That's good. What
Yeah.
about a noun?
A noun is going to be a person, place, or a thing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Was that good?
Yeah. Adjective.
Adjective is a descriptive word.
Wow.
Right? Right?
What about a pronoun?
A pronoun is like a noun that has a job. that was all I have.
I think you and I are the only two people laughing at that joke. John.
I thought it was good. That's all right. All right. So I'm going to ask you a series of questions here, just to kind of fill in my blanks. And at the end, we're going to be telling a really good story that's going to be like 2/3 my story and 1/3 your story. So, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right.
And John's gonna wrap it.
Wow. All right. If Eric says it, it has to be true.
Boom.
Boom.
There it is. All right,
All right.
John. What's the first one for Katie?
I need an adjective.
Lazy.
Lazy.
Oh.
That is.
Who are you describing, Katie? When
Yeah.
you said that. Were you talking to John directly?
I mean, maybe.
Oh,
Maybe.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. All right. That was a good adjective. But how about another adjective?
Sharp.
Sharp.
Ooh,
That's good.
like a knife.
Knife. Yes.
Oh,
The K is not silent.
it's not.
No,
Okay.
it's definitely
Well,
not silent. How about a noun? I need a noun.
Money.
Money.
Ooh, Mo money, mo
Mo
problems.
money, mo problems.
Money,
Got
money,
it.
money.
All right, how about another noun? Another noun.
Coffee.
Coffee.
Ooh, I like coffee.
I like coffee.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah.
Coffee is sometimes more important than money.
Katie, what's your favorite coffee drink?
That is so hard.
Mm.
I have so many.
Hands away from the face. You're going to get COVID. Ah! Sorry. All right. Sorry. look it up.
Probably a caramel macchiato. I know,
Ooh.
basic, but it's good.
That sounds delightful.
If it was a
Yeah.
pumpkin spice latte, it would have been basic. Caramel macchiato, you're safe.
You're safe.
good.
What is your safe?
Okay.
Yeah. I like pumpkin spice. All right. How about a plural noun?
A plural noun?
Plural
So
noun.
that's like multiple, right?
Like one that ends with a s, like an S at the end, usually. Unless it's like the difference between fungi and funguses, because then it's just
That's confusing.
it's like fungus
John.
and fungi. But either who.
Yeah.
Plural noun.
plural noun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. I ask hard questions.
Drinks.
Drinks. Yes.
There we go. She's on a coffee kick here.
Yeah, I'm
Really
feeling it.
focusing.
I'm feeling it. All right. How about a game? Any game
Oh.
will do.
Mario Kart.
Mario Kart. Good
Oh,
call.
That's a good
I know
one.
there were fans in the chat of Mario Kart earlier.
Oh, there
so-
were.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
So you are like following along
This is
thematically.
great.
Well done, Katie. Well done. How about another plural noun?
Oh gosh.
I know.
Shoes.
Shoes.
Mm.
Shoes.
How many pairs of shoes approximately do you own, Katie?
Probably like 40 plus.
Oh.
I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
Me as well.
Yeah.
I have 3.
John,
That's it.
we need to work
3.
on that.
3.
Yeah.
My bad. Ooh, 4. I forgot. I had another pair.
Wow.
Yeah, my bad. Thanks.
impressive.
Remember that one.
All right.
All right. How about a verb ending in ing or a verb ending in ing?
Worshipping.
Worshipping.
Oh,
Look at us bringing
That's a
God
good
into
one.
this.
put your hands in the air.
Wave them like you just don't care. All right. Here's the worst thing is I'm writing these down and I have horrible handwriting. So I keep looking at this going, I don't know if I'm going to be able to read what I wrote. So we're going to see if I'm close. All right.
Yikes.
How about another verb ending in ing?
Sleeping.
Sleeping.
Mm.
Sometimes people put the two of those together, worshiping and sleeping.
Well, yeah, I've seen
Maybe
it.
that's just during the sermon.
that.
Never.
Only
never.
when Tyler's up.
Only when Tyler's speaking. I got it. All right. How about a plural noun? Another plural noun.
Hats.
Hats.
I don't
Ooh.
know.
How many hats do you have?
Like 2.
2 hats.
I don't
All
wear
right.
hats.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
that's
Me
fair.
neither.
All right.
It
And
messes up my hair.
yeah, I wore a hat, and then when I took it off, all the hair went with it.
Wow.
That's kind of what happened
That's a weird.
there.
hat.
How about another verb ending in ing? We got a lot of these inging verbs.
Eating.
Eating. I am all about that.
This is a long story, John.
It is a long, long,
Are we
long
almost done?
story. I only have like 14 more to go, so
Oh.
sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. All right. How about another noun?
School.
School.
Mm,
All right.
almost over.
Yeah. And a plant. Any plant will do.
A rose.
Rose.
Ooh, that's a good one. I was gonna go with fern.
Every rose has its thorn. All right. Part of the body.
I don't think we should ask that, but
This is
No,
why we don't.
no, I got it. I got it.
Okay, all right.
All right.
Kneecap.
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 Perfect.
Fantastic.
This is why we don't do this with any of the middle school boys. All right. Kneecap. Perfect. A place. A place. Any place.
Just a place.
Just
Yeah.
a place.
Just a place.
A place.
I heard you guys talking about McDonald's earlier,
ooh.
so let's go with that.
McDonald's
Mickey
for the win.
D's. Perfect. All right. A verb ending in ing. We haven't had any of those yet. Yes, we have.
Praying.
Praying. All
Praying.
right. All right. Perfect. 3 more to go.
Almost there. Let's do
Almost.
this.
Adjective. Adjective.
Chunky.
Chunky. That falls right after eating, so that's good. All right. Chunky. Feel like you were looking at me. All right. I need a number. Any number will do. And I'm just going to, I'm sucking in now, so I feel better. Just
11.
11.
Yeah.
Because 11. Yeah.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
that makes sense.
Stranger Things.
All right.
Right? That's
Yeah.
where we're at? Perfect.
Last
Cool.
one.
Plural noun.
Plural noun. Here it is.
Tacos.
Yes.
Tacos for the win.
Tacos for the win.
All
All
right.
right.
John, let's hear this rap that Katie came up with.
See, I don't know if a rap's going to work because really,
Sing it.
sing it. We are talking about, Katie, this is your summer vacation is what we're talking about here because we don't know what summer vacations are going to look like. So we're going to talk about yours, all right?
Perfect.
All right, so
Let's do it.
a vacation is when you take a trip to some lazy place with your sharp family. Usually you go someplace that is near money and coffee.
Fair.
A good vacation is one where you can ride drinks or play Mario Kart or go hunting for shoes.
Those are the options I
That's-
would come up with.
I mean, that's what I'd do, right?
Mhm.
So far, it's sounding good.
Yeah, great story.
I like to spend my time worshiping or sleeping. That feels right.
Yeah.
Like that's.
I'm on
like,
board with
right-
that.
you nailed it right there. Like that is.
Good job, Katie.
This is your life. When parents go on a vacation, they spend their time eating 3 hats a day. Because parents are dumb. And fathers play golf, and mothers sit around eating. Mothers just sit around eating.
Rude. We just
all
had Mother's Day.
I know.
Oh.
Katie, come on. Ugh.
Sorry.
All right. Last summer, my little brother fell in school. He had to go to summer school.
Bummer.
Bummer for him. And he got poison rose all over his kneecap.
That sounds bad.
That's awful. My family is going to go to McDonald's and I will practice praying.
That's good.
Because if you're going to go to McDonald's, prayer is necessity. Like you need to do that or else, well, yeah. Parents need vacation more than kids because parents are always very chunky. Wow. McDonald's, moms are always eating. Parents are always very chunky.
It's quite the vacation.
And because they have to work 11 hours every day all year making enough tacos to pay for vacation.
Perfect.
That sounds like a great vacation you're going to have, Katie. That's
Katie,
awesome.
if you went on a vacation right now, would you change anything about what John just described?
Nope.
Nope.
It sounds great.
This vacation brought to you by Midweek.
That's the best vacation I've ever heard of. Katie, we couldn't have done it without you. Thank you so much for being on with us. We are going to throw it over to our next commercial.
What's up, guys? I'm Austin, if you don't know me, and I just wanted to talk about how awesome HS Groups is. For one of the main reasons is because you can ask about anything in that group. Valley Real Life is a very open church, and you can ask any question you ever have to that church, and it's really cool because of that. But in this setting, it's very personalized, and you can ask your leaders who you trust and the people around you. And you can trust them because there's a confidentiality agreement where you have to sign something to where you don't talk about what's said in that group in that time of study. And asking any question you want in that small personal group is awesome. I think you should join HS Groups, and if you aren't in an HS group and you want to join, contact VRL HSM on Instagram or email students@vrl.church.
Welcome back. You know, we've been talking all night about stories and how important stories are. You know, this whole month we've been talking about influence. And the truth is we're all influencers. The question is what are we influencing people toward? And so I'm super excited for you to get to hear from one of our high school students tonight. I know that you often get to hear from me and Eric, but we decided to invite somebody else to teach tonight. And so I hope that you're encouraged to hear from Paris Cook. She's going to bring the word, and it's going to be awesome for you to hear. So I hope that you really tune in, because it's not some adult preaching at you. It's your peer saying, hey, guys, let's do this together. Because what's important is that you don't just tell your story. There's, in fact, another story that is even more important to tell as we influence others. So, Paris, take it away.
Hey, Midweek Live, I'm so excited that you've chosen to join us tonight. Over the past few weeks, we've been talking about influence and how to be a good influencer. And it's given me a lot of time and opportunity to think about some of my favorite influencers. Some of my favorites are Janessa Way, Sadie Robertson, and Brooke Ledgerwood. And one thing that I noticed about all three of those women is that they're all good storytellers. And I love stories. One of my favorite things to do is sit around the campfire with my friends and family and tell stories. Now, the cool thing is that everybody's a storyteller. Since we've determined that we all have influence, it's time to ask ourselves the question, what kind of influencer do I want to be? And if you're like me, you want to be a great one. But the thing about great influencers is that they're intentional about their stories. And no, I don't mean the stories that we post on our Snapchat and our Instagram. I mean the story that we tell with our lives. And God has invited you, and he's invited me to tell a bigger story, to tell his story, which is the gospel. And the gospel is a term that I think we throw around a lot in the church, but sometimes we're a bit confused on it. So I'll break it down for us. The gospel actually means good news or God's story. And the good news says that you and I are sinners. And here's the thing about sin. It separates us from God. It makes it so that we're not able to have a relationship with God because God is holy and pure and righteous, and sin cannot be in his presence. And the penalty for our sin is actually death. It sounds harsh, but it's what we really deserve. But here's the good news, is that because God loves us and because he's so kind to us, he sent his one and his only son, Jesus Christ, down to this earth to save us. Jesus Christ took the penalty of death on the cross that me and you deserve. Not because we deserved him to do that, but because he radically loves us. And he says that all we have to do to receive that free gift is accept him and believe in him in our hearts. And if you've already done that, God has called his children to tell the hope of the gospel, his story, to the rest of humanity. So I'm going to read this verse in Romans 10. It's verses 13 through 15. Open your Bibles with me if you have yours. Here's what it says. For whoever calls on the name of the Lord will be saved. How can they call on him unless they believe in him? And how can they believe in him if they've never heard of him? And how can they hear of him unless someone tells them? And how will anyone go and tell them without being sent? It is why the scriptures say how beautiful are the feet of the messengers who bring the good news. And when Paul says beautiful feet, he doesn't mean that our feet are physically beautiful. He means that when we go tell the gospel, the story of God, when we share that with the rest of humanity, that we're bringing beauty into the world. And something God is teaching me right now is that in all of his sovereignty, he could do that all on his own if he wanted. He doesn't. Instead, he invites and he calls me and you to help him and to be on his team. And it doesn't matter if you're on JV or if you're on varsity. It doesn't matter if you're popular or not, if you're a middle schooler or a high schooler. The God of the universe has called you to help him. And I know what you're thinking. Paris, I'm not perfect. There's no way that I could do that. But here's the thing. Jesus doesn't need your perfection. He doesn't call you to be perfect, and he doesn't call you to have everything figured out. He says that you might even have doubts, but he still wants your heart. And what he needs from you is your yes. And about 2 years ago, God was asking me to do something that was really scary. He wanted me to join the worship team. And I said no for a long time, and I kept waiting because I was so scared to do it. But finally, after God kept patiently pursuing my heart, I finally just said yes to him. I surrendered to what he wanted me to do. And I've experienced so much joy from that. And I encourage and challenge you that if God is asking you to do something, to say yes to him, because he doesn't need your perfection. He's got it covered. He's got you. He only wants your heart and he wants your yes. And I think sometimes we think, yeah, the good news is good. It's good, but God is teaching me that it's great. The good news, God's story determines our eternity. And that is forever. And I look at our generation, and we're a people full of loneliness, full of anxiety and depression. and we feel worthless, and we're looking for something to fill our souls, myself included. And I think it's time, friends, I think it's time to ask ourselves, are we so bothered by what's happening around us, by what's happening in our generation, that we're motivated to change it? Are we motivated to change it? Because if we truly believe that Jesus, the Jesus who walked this earth is who he says he is, then we should know that he changes everything. The more and more I get to know and love Jesus and spend time with him, he changes more and more about me. He changes the way I feel when I wake up on a Monday morning, and he changes the way that I see the kid in the back of the classroom that everybody else is mean to. He changes everything. The gospel, God's story, is the story that will change the hallways of our schools, that's going to change our sports teams, that changes our families. The gospel, God's story, changes everything. He takes people who are depressed and gives them joy. People who are lonely and makes them feel not alone. He makes them know that he is with them. From guilt to forgiveness and freedom from our past. From anxiety to overwhelming peace that surpasses all of our understanding. Only Jesus can do that. Only Jesus can do that. And it seems like a daunting task. It does. It seems like, how could I do this? I'm scared. And friends, I'm with you. It is uncomfortable sometimes, and it's scary to tell people about Jesus. And there's been plenty of times that God has asked me to go tell someone, but I haven't because of my fear. But that's not what we're called to. Jesus actually says that he's never going to leave us, that he will be by our side, leading us, guiding us every step of the way. He promises he won't leave us. And when I'm scared, I say a prayer to God, and I encourage you and challenge you to say this same prayer to God. Ask him for the courage and for the boldness to go and share your faith, to go and share Jesus, the good news, with people. And I truly believe if you ask Jesus for that he will give that to you. And you may be thinking, couldn't someone just Google this? And yeah, they could. But God doesn't call us just to be influencers by our speech and by our stories. He calls us to be influencers by our actions. Jesus actually says that people around us will know that we're his followers by the way that we love. And so, friends, I don't think it's about our platforms. I think it's about realizing, like we've already been saying, that we all have influence, and that the little people in front of you, that's who God's called you to influence. Because being a great influencer isn't just about telling your story, but it's about telling God's story.
Wow, Paris, that was so good. Thank you for sharing your heart, for sharing from the Word. When I asked you a few weeks ago to do this, I didn't think you were going to crush it like that. I'll be honest. You killed it. So thank you so much, Sydney.
Yes.
You got to hear that. You are actually Paris's small group leader.
Yes,
right?
I am.
For the
Love
last
it.
couple of years.
Mhm.
How terrible is she?
She's, oh man, that
Just
girl.
the worst.
I can't even handle it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So after listening to that great message from Paris, what stood out to you?
Oh gosh. There's so much you can learn from that. She did awesome. I think one thing that really sticks out to me is when she says, Jesus doesn't need your perfection. He only needs your yes. I think that's super cool because we get so caught up in just all our flaws and all our things we think we can't do. But God uses us in spite of all those. And I think it's so cool because she made that so clear in that message. I think she did a great job.
That's awesome. She did such a great job, and I thought we would actually bring her into this a little bit because I want to hear more from her. So, hopefully you want to hear more from Paris as well. Sydney, do you want to hear more from Paris?
Absolutely.
Sounds good. So we're going to FaceTime her here. Hi, Paris.
Hi, guys. How is everyone?
It's good. Paris, you just watched yourself deliver that message. How do you like watching yourself teach?
I don't like watching myself or hearing myself, but yeah.
That's fair. Well, you did a phenomenal job, so thank you. It was just an amazing challenge of what it looks like to live beyond just our story into God's story. But Paris, can you tell us, what does that look like practically, daily? How do you, as a teenager, even a teenager in this season, how do you live that out daily?
Yeah. Okay, so I kind of just broke it up into two sections that I thought would be easy for you guys to apply. So my first thing before I say anything else is I just want to remind you that the gospel's for everyone. So like nobody's disqualified from hearing that. And I just want to remind you that Jesus came for everyone. So like he died for everyone, and so don't disqualify the people you're going to tell. So the first thing is pursue Jesus yourself. And this may seem like something that is kind of obvious, but I think we've been given a really sweet and special time, especially with this quarantine, to just get to know God, because truthfully, you can't be super great at sharing God's story unless you have a personal relationship with Jesus yourself, unless you know him yourself. So I would encourage you to focus on that, and just I remind you that whatever you put in your head, whatever you're filling your heart and mind with, is what's going to flow out. So like I notice when I study scripture and when I am in spending time with Jesus, like I talk about him more naturally in my conversations. And so that's something really cool you can consider. And so how do you do that? So before school starts for me in the morning, this can be any time during the day for you, just set aside some time during the day that's consistent and that you do every day, just time with Jesus. And so whether that's time that you just put your phone away and you get in the scriptures, or you pick a book, or YouVersion Bible app has some awesome plans that you can do. So those are just ways that I practically spend time with the Lord every day, and that is it makes it much easier to tell God's story when you're spending time with him. So then the second thing is to do everything in love. And I know this also sounds simple, but it's much harder to live out. And if you think about Jesus and the way that his ministry worked, everything that he did was in love. Like if you read through the Gospels and you look at his life, like everything was done in love. And so it's not our job to judge the way that somebody else is living their life. And that's really hard for me, but it's just our job to love them and to love them how Jesus would. And so don't try and shove the gospel down their throats, because there's no way that we can like convince people to love God. It's just by showing them how he loves us. And so I encourage you to use this time to build relationships. And that might seem hard right now because we can't physically be with each other, but even think about people in your house or your friends that don't know the Lord, and just start with them. So my challenge for you, and I'm going to do this myself too, is to just think of one person that you know doesn't know Jesus. They don't have a relationship with him, and just set aside a time to FaceTime them, or if they live with you, to just talk to them without distractions, and to just get one-on-one time with them. And before you even talk about Jesus, like just ask them how they're doing in quarantine. I've realized that it's such a powerful thing to just send a text message or just take 10 minutes to FaceTime with somebody and just see how they're doing, because it goes a long way. And so once you build that relationship and become better friends with someone, or even if they're in your family and they're your sibling, like then it's time to say, like, do you think you could read the Bible with me? Or would you want to go through a plan with me? Or maybe just tell them what God is teaching you in your life. I find that sometimes that's the best way to introduce God, is just say, like, during this quarantine, God's been teaching me patience, or like, what is he teaching you? And maybe that starts a conversation of faith. So those are just some things that during this time I think are applicable and might help you. So I hope that helps you.
Awesome. Paris, thank you so much for being willing to share that message that God's put in your heart and help us walk through it. So thank you so much. Thanks for calling in too. We will talk to you soon.
Okay, thanks for having me.
Bye. Man, Sydney?
Yes.
She's pretty great, huh?
Love her.
Just did a great job. Do you take credit for all of that as her
Exactly.
small group leader?
Uh-huh.
Take credit for that?
I think I deserve some, right?
So she talked about a couple ways that she lives out this message of telling God's story and not just focusing on ours.
Yeah.
How do you live that out practically?
So I kind of, going off of what she said, of what she ended with, of being a good influencer is about just telling your story, but it's about telling God's story. I really try and focus my life on living a life that God does guide my decisions and my thoughts and my actions. And for me, that's super important, to be able to make it evident that there is something different about me when you meet me and when you get to know me. And so just making sure that I'm sharing Christ, just even by the way I act, by the way I talk with people, the way I'm loving around people, I just think that's all so important. And I am on a rec volleyball league, and for me, like, it's so important to reflect Jesus in the way I'm treating others on the other teams, in the way I'm treating my teammates, whether I'm winning or losing, by my attitude and how I'm responding to that. I just think it's so important to make sure that you're showing Christ in every aspect of your life.
That's so good. That's good. Thank you, Sydney, for listening, for being here. It's been amazing to have you. Thank you, Paris, for sharing. I just encourage you this week. All month we've been talking about what it looks like to be influencers, right? To chase good and not evil, to make wise choices, to dream big and live small. But more than anything, would you tell something beyond just your story? One scholar would say this, that the greatest story ever told is the story of the gospel, which Paris shared with us tonight. But the second greatest story ever told is how Jesus changed your life. And so I hope that you share God's story by sharing your story, but not so that it elevates you, that it elevates God and expands his kingdom. That's what we're here for. And that can even happen, and maybe even especially happen during this season, because we have a hope that's much beyond right now. So let me pray, and we'll continue. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for the message that you gave us through Paris. And I just thank you for her willingness to share that, and just the challenge to make sure that we're telling your story. And would you, for every one of us, would you just implant your story in our hearts, in our minds, allow us to live in that, to know that you came and died for us. And because of that, we are your children, and we are a new creation, Paul says. And so, Lord, I just pray that you would guide us in that and challenge us to live boldly for you. It's in your son's name I pray, amen. Sydney, have you had a good time?
I've had a great time.
Great time?
Happy to be here, Tyler.
Are you still nervous?
A little bit, but better. Thanks for asking.
Good. Sydney's done a great job. I know that you think you have. You should put that in the comments and just thank her for being here. I think actually we should do another game with John and Eric. You think?
Sure.
Take it away, guys.
Hey,
Oh,
how
I
y'all doing?
love games, John.
Yeah,
Love
yeah.
games. But we have incredible news that just came in.
You know what time it is right now?
Oh, I know what time it is.
Yeah.
It's 7:20.
It is 7:20, which means we are just mere moments away from registration for camp opening up.
Being live
And ready for you guys to do it. It's going to be exciting. It is going to be unpredictable what happens.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh.
So close. So close. It's going to be incredible. You're not going to want to miss out for both Move and Mix. So middle schoolers, high schoolers. But you know what? Don't just take our word for it.
I wouldn't take our word for it.
No, I wouldn't. Let's hear what this student had to say about it.
Boom.
Hey, if you're a student, I just really want to encourage you to go to camp this summer. I've gone to CIY the past 2 years and I wouldn't miss it for the world. It's such an awesome time to just release all the stress and anxiety that's been building up throughout the school year and give it all to the Lord. One of my favorite parts about camp is small groups. Some of my best friends have come from my small group, and just being able to see how God moves throughout each person throughout the week is really special. From worship to dodgeball tournaments, there's never a dull moment. For more information about camp, go to vrl.church/students. I hope to see you all this summer.
There it is.
Right?
Incredible.
Who's all going?
Put it in the chats if you're planning on registering for Mix or Move as soon as Midweek Live is over, but not before. Oh, my goodness.
Just throwing that out there that I'm going to win.
You know what? Fine. There is one left on the bottom.
No.
And I'm going to get it.
The bottom one.
The bottom one, right here. Right here. The bottom one.
All right, what do you guys think?
Here we go.
Can Eric do it? All right, just the bottom one.
Oh, it's real snug.
It's snug.
It's not moving.
It's like all the weight of all the blocks are on that one there.
I feel like moving this will make the whole thing unpredictable.
It could be unpredictable.
Yeah, it could be. But I would put out some other unwords, but I'm uneducated.
Yeah.
So.
No, all right.
Okay. Bottom one.
Bottom one.
All right, here we go. I'm nervous. I'm nervous.
I'm scared.
Here it is. Oh, I didn't even move. All right, I'm going to set down my mic. Here we go.
Oh, that was good. That was good. Oh, I'm nervous for Eric. Are you guys nervous for him? Unprecedented! Unprecedented! Did you see that? It's still standing. He took the bottom one. What? What?
That's right.
That was
Place
good.
it right up here.
Oh.
What if it fell?
Oh, that was good.
Boom.
That was good. Hey, everybody, sign up for camp.
Sign up for camp. I'm pretty sure they thought you were done.
Yeah.
Register for camp. We are out. Thank you so much for joining us. Unprecedented times. Here we are,
Deuces.
Midweek Live.